Scott rock and rolling to the Phillies. And Nomar Garciaparra, shortstop. He is an all-star for the Boston Red Sox. Joe Morgan with me. And Joe, what about a middle infielder hitting home runs?
Well, you're right. And good here, we got 3 middle infielders against 1 outfielder. So I'm going to pick a middle infielder.
Well, Nomar Garciaparra is really just Rico Petrocelli with sideburns.
You're right, and he's a good hitter.
Right, very good hitter. Jose Guillen of the Pittsburgh Pirates made 7 outs as the first batter in the rookie competition until this one goes back to left field, back, and I tell you what, it was headed toward that sign. You know what? Doesn't matter how many he's going to hit. The first home run hit in the home run derbies is Jose Guillen. He's got that. No one can take that away from him. This is to left field. Back, and 2 straight home runs for the Pirate rookie.
Watch this powerful swing. Look at his legs. He drives the ball, drives with his legs really well. Real uppercut there, and he almost hit the $1 million sign. This is a big drive. That's a long ways out there. Unless you're Mark McGwire, then it's just a pop-up.
Yeah, and it's just off the fist. So, in his first home run derby, Guillen, just 21 years of age, finishes with a pair. Now on to the American League's first rookie entry. 24-year-old Scott Spiezio from the Oakland A's, second baseman, Joe. So, hey, second baseman, home run hitting contest, you like it?
Yeah, I like that. You know, he's more powerful from the right side, but because this is a shorter porch in right field, he's going to hit from the left side. But right-handed is his natural swing position.
And this one is plenty of distance. Back it goes, back, gone. Well, after 8 outs, the switch-hitting Spiezio turned around. Ripped down the left field line. And I tell you, he's just missed each hole. I like it. I think it's the first time we've ever seen anyone hit from both sides of the plate in one of these.
Let's take a look at this 1 home run he hits. Well, he got it a little late, see, and that's why he was able to keep it fair. The other ones, he was way out in front. That one, he got right on top of the plate, turned on it, and drove it 400 feet into the upper deck.
And that'll bring up very large third baseman, rookie for the Philadelphia Phillies, Scott rock and rolling. Back it goes, back, gone. Guillen held the lead until Rolen got down to his final 2 outs, and well, Rolen started rolling. This one is hit a long way to left. Back it goes, back, gone. So Rolen and Guillen are 9-2. That'll bring up the all-star shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, the lone member in this rookie home run hitting contest that made the all-star team, Nomar, Mr. Nice Guy, Garciaparra. Well, he pulls this one back, gone. In the tunnel, over the fence, just misses the umbrella. And Rolen and Guillen see Garciaparra hit his first one out. Griffey and company size up a potential new rival. Gets under this, goes back to left, back it goes. Gone. Rip to left, this could be it. Back it goes, back, does it stay fair? Home run! And Nomar Garciaparra is moving on to the big home run derby.
Yeah, I was going to say he should stop because there is a fatigue factor normally in these home run hitting contests, although I think this one, in this case, is not going to be. Remember how hot it was last year in Philly.
Well, with his third home run, which measured 436 feet, he said, we don't need to hit no more.
No more.
He's done.
Look at this. I mean, look at it. He's got just a little back. He leans back on that back foot, which is a trait of a lot of home run hitters, a lot of weight on the back side, and he drives it out. And here's his reaction. He's hoping it stays fair. Stay fair, stay fair. He's okay. I got it.
Well, he didn't quite give the pudge fist wave. Garciaparra moving on. Let's go to Buck Martinez with Nomar.
Nomar, you won the first round of the rookies. Now you're in with the big guys. It looks like you started to really get a good swing going right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're really nervous out there, like all these guys said. Scott Spezio came and gave me some advice. He said, take your time, and I really appreciate that, and I kind of did that as the round was going on.
Good luck to you next round.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Tuesday, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the special edition of Baseball Tonight, right from the Jake. All-Star Game highlights and analysis. We'll hear from the key participants. Tuesday, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That will do it for this All-Star Gala. It's been a success. I think you had fun? Absolutely. It's really been a special night here. Peter Gammons, I'm Carl Ravish. The rookie home run hitting winner, Nomar Garciaparra. He got it done. Now it's time for the big boys. And Chris Berman with a call. Good night, everybody.
All right, Carl, thank you. We continue from Jacobs Field, but put down that glove. We're using bats. A sellout crowd on hand this time, not to see the beloved Tribe, but instead, the event that's captured the imagination of baseball fans everywhere. 10 of baseball's premier sluggers go head-to-head in the Gillette Home Run Derby. Can you say Roger Maris? Mark McGwire has 31 homers at the break. Junior Griffey has 30. Tino Martinez has 28 in the National League. Larry Walker, 25. Jeff Bagwell, 24. They're all coming up in the Gillette Home Run Derby. Beautiful afternoon here at the Jake, although we must admit the wind blowing in a tad, but it shouldn't bother this man, Mark McGwire, and Junior Griffey. And Larry Walker lead the charge in the Gillette Home Run Derby. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to Jacobs Field in Cleveland, the Jake. A great hitter's yard, and the best home run hitters in the game are here. Joe Morgan will be along shortly as we eagerly anticipate this event as kind of the high water mark of the All-Star Game festivities, and certainly with all the talk about Roger Maris and breaking that mark of 61, this is a year for someone or several players to step up and excel, as they always do. The rules, to remind you, we have 10 players that begin, and they get 10 outs. A swing is either a home run or even a line shot double off the wall is an out. After 10 outs, you sit down. We total it up. The top 4 will move on to the second round, where again, they'll get 10 outs. The top 2 after the second round will go on to the finals, where you get 5 outs. And of course, we had a great finals last year that Barry Bonds bested Mark McGwire. And here is 268 home runs strong. Joe Morgan. And Joe, this is always fun, and different swings here for some of the home run hitters, aren't there?
Well, a lot of different swings, but as usual, I always pick Ken Griffey Jr. simply because his swing has a slight uppercut, a lot of lift in it. Look at this swing. That's a perfect home run hitter's swing. He doesn't have to change his swing in the home run hitting derby. A lot of players have to change their swing. Now watch Tino Martinez. His is more level. He's going to have to change his swing a little bit, get a little more uppercut in his swing in order to drive the ball out of the ballpark. So Ken Griffey Jr. is a natural in any home run hitting contest.
So you're
of course,
going
Mark McGwire is great
Griffey,
too.
huh?
Yeah, I always pick Griffey. You know, he won the last one he was in. He's missed the last 2.
So let's see. Griffey has 30 homers. McGwire
Right.
31. You're going with them?
I'm still going with Griffey.
That's really courageous, Joe. I'm going with McGwire because of the short porch here in left field, though the wall is high. Ray Lankford is my sleeper, okay? Just remember that and give me credit.
I wish I'd have said that.
Well, we'll see how smart I am. I tell you what, Mark McGwire is a guy, Joe, that hits him out of every park, including Yellowstone Park. For proof, here's our Buck Martinez.
Chris, Mark McGwire's hit monster home runs throughout the American League, but he hit one of his longest right here at Jacobs Field. I'm all the way up at the top of the bleachers in left field, just in front of the guy that's played the drums at Indians games since I played. McGwire in April hit one off Oral Hershiser that hit the scoreboard. He hit the Budweiser sign right above the S. Later on in that same ball game, he hit a home run to the right of the center field bleachers that was measured 481 feet. During this contest today, there are 2 signs here. One in left field, the pinnacle home run sign, is actually 61 feet closer to home plate than the spot McGwire hit on the scoreboard. If a ball player hits that sign during the contest, some fan in the ballpark today will win $1 million. There's another sign in right field high above the third deck. If somebody hits that sign also, a fan will win $1 million. There have only been 9 balls hit in the second deck at Jacobs Field in right field. Our leadoff batter today, Jim Thome, has hit 5 home runs in the second deck.
All right, Buck, thank you. That sign in left field, I think it's too close for Mark McGwire to hit. Maybe one of the other mortals might win the $1 million for that fan. Well, certainly Ken Griffey Jr. was almost immortal in '93. Remember when he hit the warehouse at Camden Yards in Baltimore? Doink. At Pittsburgh the next year in '94, the big hurt put a big hurt on this one. Facade of the 5th deck, over 500 feet. Last year, Barry Bonds outdueled his Bay Area mate Mark McGwire for the title. Who'll win it this time?
Excuse me, think your disposable razor shaves as comfortably as his Gillette Sensor XL? Yeah. Well, try Sensor XL. It'll change your mind. After one shave with...
The 1997 Gillette Home Run Derby is presented by Gillette, the best a man can get. And in part by MCI. Is this a great time or what? And by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Reminds you the 3 most important words are, hey, beer man. Hey, Batman. Here's the lineup. Jim Thome, can you hear me? Nomar, Mr. Nice Guy, Garciaparra. Chipper Jones, Brady, Bunch, Anderson, Ray Lankford, Tino, Martinez, Jeff Brown, Paper, Bagwell, Junior Griffey, Larry Walker, and Mark Eve of Destruction McGwire. The first man up, Jim Thome of the Tribe. In June of '95 off Mike Mussina, he hits the Ameritech sign facing off the second deck, 444 feet from the plate. May 21st last year off Ben McDonald. This one's going to go to the 7th row of the second deck above the bullpen. Projects to approximately 450 feet. The deepest into the second deck a ball has ever been hit here to right field. We begin with a standing ovation because the hometown hero, late selection of the All-Star team, but certainly deserving, Jim Thome, can you hear me? You've seen that he's on a tear since the beginning of June. 14 home runs among his 24, which stands him 4th in the American League. 24 homers, 62 ribbies, 298. He is in a home run groove. Although, and it's very difficult to make the All-Star team, Joe, with all the first basemen, Tino Martinez and Mark McGwire and Frank Thomas and Mo Vaughn, who's hurt, Will Clark, who didn't make it. I mean, this is a packed first base position. And I think Thome's trying to jump on it a little bit, being in front of the hometown crowd.
Well, I'm sure that there's a lot of pressure on him to perform well here, not only because it's a hometown crowd, but he was a late addition. He wants to prove that he deserves to be here.
4 outs quickly for Thome. That's the first fly ball to the outfield. Wearing the American League red jersey. At least it's Indian colors. This is a low liner. Not going to carry. 5 outs for Thome. 6 outs for Thome. He's really jumpy up there. He's not really taking any pitches.
Well, I really believe that in a home run hitting contest, you should move forward a little bit in the batter's box. That will make sure that your bat is always in fair territory, and some of those balls you pull down the line will not go foul.
Ground ball, but that's 8 outs for Thome. He wants to at least get on the board. Oh!
Well, being honest with you, he's hitting more with his hands than he is. He usually has that nice, long uppercut swing with his hip rotation getting out of the way. Now he's using pretty much just his hands. This is not the Jim Thome that you normally see swinging.
Well, Mark
there it is right there.
Doesn't use just his hands, and Thome grounded it foul, and that should do it. Well, Mike Piazza entered a couple of these and never hit a home run, and I'm sure Jim is really disappointed. He looked like he was very jumpy. Let's get the word from Buck Martinez, who's with him right now.
Jim, a great reception by your fans here. Butterflies a little bit?
Oh, yeah, this is great. I mean, you know, you got a lot of great hitters, and, you know, I'm just glad to be here.
What about the overall experience of the All-Star game?
It's going to be awesome. I shouldn't have been here. I should have been on a roller coaster right now having fun. This is even better, though.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Thank you.
Earlier, Nomar Garciaparra, the Red Sox, won the rookie home run derby. He's advanced to the big show, and he's coming up next. In Cleveland, certainly, Joe, a hitter's park, although the left field wall is 19 feet high, and the right field and center field are just 8 feet, but 325 down the line. No distance, really, Death Valley-esque.
Well, it's a great left-handed hitter's ballpark. It's a great hitters all around, but especially in right field, you can hit line drives that will go over that 8-foot wall. That really helps you a lot. And the conditions here are almost perfect, wind blowing in a little bit, but I like this temperature because last year in Philadelphia, I think it got a little hot and the fatigue factor took over against some of the players.
Jim Thome could not impress for the home fans. He has a chance to do it tomorrow night in the game.
All right. We're back, baby. We're back.
Jim Thome could not impress the hometown fans. This is Nomar Garciaparra, the rookie shortstop of the Boston Red Sox. He is an all-star, but the reason he's in the home run hitting contest is that they've made an addition. They've had a rookie home run hitting contest, of which he hit 3 out. He had more outs to go, and that bested Jose Guillen of the Pirates, Scott Spezio of the A's, and Scott Rock and Rowland of the Phillies. So the winner of the rookie home run contest gets in here. And Joe, he's already warm, whereas the other hitters are not. Maybe he'll have an advantage. Well, so far, not so good.
Well, he has an advantage in that he's warm, but he's at a disadvantage because of some of the big hitters and the home run hitters that he's facing. But he does have a slight advantage.
Low liner, but it doesn't. You can only get up about halfway on that 19-foot wall. How about a shortstop here in the home run hitting contest? You love this.
Yes, I do. Would even be better for the second baseman.
Well, but
middle infielders, we have a kinship together there.
Well, Nomar is really Rico Petrocelli with sideburns. Rico hitting one of the few shortstops to hit 40 for the Red Sox. Nomar gets under this one. Does it have the juice? Back, but not far enough. Just to the track. So, you know what? They've unjuiced the ball, Joe. Thome and Garciaparra, they can't hit it out. Larry Walker, leading home run hitter in the National League at the break. He'll hit cleanup for that side. He with 25 home runs. This one will be short, so out number 8 for Nomar. Roger Clemens, remember, as a youngster named Garciaparra, his Red Sox days. Kobe and Corey, 2 of Roger Debbie's kids, watching here at the All-Star game. What a first half Rogers had. Doesn't get much better than Roger Clemens has done for
Is that 8
Blue
outs
Jays.
or 9?
One out.
You know, they say the Indians have some pitching problems. Maybe Jeff Alfred E. Newman, who's doing the pitching, maybe they should let him pitch.
He's shut out one hitter already and
done it again. Newman is mowing him down as Thome and Garciaparra did not come through, but Garciaparra at least went on to the second round. Here's Buck.
Nomar, it looked as though you got a little bit anxious in the second round.
Yeah, I think I wasted them all right there in the first home run derby contest, but look at these big guys I got to go against.
What about the wind blowing in a little bit from left?
Yeah, I felt that too. I think I should have switched around too and tried left-handed, but no, it's fun.
All right, nice going.
Thank you.
Chipper Jones is coming up next. Joe, did you see that from the angle of the shot that we have with Nomar? Looked like he had a nice fishing bill. You know, they wear the National or American League jerseys. The only thing that you recognize them from are the hats. I don't like it.
No, I think that the team should represent the city that they're in, have the jerseys on, but maybe they will tomorrow. Maybe this is the workout day gear.
Well, here is Chipper Jones, who is a switch hitter, but this year he's hit all 14 of his home runs from the left side, and most seasons, I mean, he'll just hit 4, 5, or 6 righty. The rest will come lefty. So obviously he's going to hit lefty, especially we should remind people here in Cleveland that you think it's easier to hit it out to right field.
Yes, it is. It's a smaller, the fence is not as high, and the dimensions are very similar. And especially today, I believe the wind is blowing in a little bit from left field.
Really a nice day here in Cleveland. Quickly, Chipper Jones, 4 outs. Jeff Newman is the story thus far in the home run hitting contest.
As the old saying goes, if the pitcher's getting you out one way, you better make him change.
Yep.
Move up, move away from the plate, move towards him, do something, make him change.
This one may find the seats. Back it goes to right field. Back. Gone. First or second row, but it's good enough. And finally, we're off to Schneider. Junior saying, let's see, that's about 375 out there. I think I can make it. Ripped down the line, but this will be foul.
383 feet.
Home run was 383, by the way, for Chipper. And the first home run in the Gillette Home Run Derby. Here he is. He caught the first one. Have a story to tell for the rest of his life. This is a long drive, and it's foul. So remember, any ball that is not a home run, a line shot off the wall, 500-foot blast that's just foul, they're all outs. And Chipper has 6 of them with 1 home run. Missed that one.
I really think you're right. Jeff Newman's ball is moving well today.
That 3-seamer that Newman throws really has baffled the hitters. Sweet swing by Chipper, but the deepest part of the park. Does it have enough mustard? Yes! That was the smoothest swing that we've seen.
Well, again, I really believe in the home run hitting contest, you have to stay from left center to right center. You stay out in the middle because you're going to pull the ball automatically. But you want to aim out straight away.
That one 422 feet, by the way. Actually, it's deeper just left of center. It's 411 in the little corner. Straightaway center is 405. This one is a long way to right. Back it goes. Gone.
See, if you aim right center or straight away, you're still going to pull the ball because of the speed of the pitches. But if you're still trying to pull it, it's like trying to keep a changeup fair.
A blue dart that would have been an extra base hit in the game, but and out here, that home run, the number 3 was 429. So Chipper has 1 out left. Look at the face of baseball. I mean, youth, it's a classic baseball look, isn't it? Gets under this, and with the wind coming in a little bit. Oh, look at the grab out there by the youngster. Look at the arm. Chipper Jones is our leader in the clubhouse with a 3 spot. The first one to hit him out. Buck?
Chipper, how about breaking up the no-hitter? Jeff Newman's got pretty good stuff today, huh?
He's throwing hard up there. He got my kitchen a couple times, but I'm just glad to get one out of here, get us on the board.
Okay, you're the leader on the board. Nice score.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at this swing by Chipper Jones. He's trying to get the timing right. You'll notice that all the home runs that go out and stay fair, they watch where he'll hit the ball right on the plate. If you get the barrel out in front with these slow speeds, you're going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but you're going to hit it foul. And let's take a look at his 3rd home run, and you'll get the same impression. Straight away center field, but he hits it right on the plate. And it travels right over the center field wall.
Still due up. The big boppers. Will it be Chantilly Lace for Tino Martinez, Junior Griffey, and Mark McGwire? Stay tuned.
Now, Jack, I'm not making any promises, but
Chipper Jones has put a few out, so he has the early lead. Is Jim Thome and Nomar Garciaparra. Nada. Well, who can score in the Major League Soccer All-Star Game? You'll see on ESPN. That's Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. League's top scorer, Preki, battles Lexi Lawless and Carlos Valderrama, East against West at Giant Stadium. Major League Soccer All-Star Game Wednesday night, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 on the West Coast. Back at Jacobs Field in Cleveland, the next man up, a man named Brady. Brady Anderson, who last year came from nowhere to hit 50 home runs. His previous career high, as you can see, 21. He became only the 14th player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs for a season. And here he is, back in the All-Star Game, as he should be. Doesn't have the home run production that he did last year. Only has 7 here at the break. Scored 52 runs for the Orioles, who have done so well. Best record in the American League.
Well, he's had a lot of injuries to start the season. I think that's cut down on his power production.
Tell him to back up a little bit. No, him.
Oh, him? Back up a little. Back up a little bit.
See, Brady can tell not his first home run hitting contest, right? Because he's saying, okay, Jeff Newman, back up a little. Now he's starting to work the pitcher, which you can do in this because you can say, hey, you stand here, you stand here. Brady always among the longest sideburns in the league. See, there they are. See, classic. From another era, really. Plays hard. Rips this one foul. 2 outs. McGwire, of course, that about Brady hitting 50 home runs last year, and then he doesn't even win the home run, contest in the championship in the American League because McGwire at 52. Well, the Orioles have really impressed the first half of the season, Joe. Pitching, really no hole in the lineup at all. As he misses this one. And everybody hits. They get pitching from start to finish.
They've played very, very well the first half. If there's any weakness, I think they're going to need for Rafael Palmeiro to get hot. They're going to need some more bats. I see them struggling a little bit. They were shut out a couple of times in a week. I see them start to struggle a little bit offensively, but they are a very good ball club.
Hit to right center field. Back it goes. Back. Gone. So Brady's on the board. Think the Yankees have a can catch them?
Yes, I think they can. I mean, that doesn't mean they will, but I think they have a good enough team that they can make up the ground if the Orioles do not get some more offense and play very well.
Of course, they picked up Baroa to help out a little bit.
Right, and I think the Yankees, of course, they're getting Gooden back. They're getting some of their...
Long shot down the line, and it's a fair ball. Gone. Remember, the top 4 advance to the second round. So Chipper has 3. He's the leader thus far. Brady hits us a long way to right center field. Back it goes. Back. Homer number 3. I would say he's in the groove, Joe. 4 straight home runs. This is the groove you talk about.
Well, I think he made Jeff Newman move back a little bit, got in his zone. He worked the pitcher. He's got it where he wants him right now.
Well, that one was estimated at 451. That's in that second deck in right field where only 9 balls have been hit. Now, of course, the park hadn't been around since the turn of the century, but yet Thome has 5 of them, by the way. And Brady's sitting on 4 now.
Last year when Brady hit his 50 home runs, he became just the 14th player in history.
There's someone who knows what Brady can do. Cal Ripken. Right behind home plate, we can get those seats and be really, if you're not a player, I mean, that's about as, he's closer to the action there than he is at third base. And what about Cal at third this year? He's fielded very well.
I've seen him make some phenomenal plays over there at third base, where he just dives and throws from his knees and he gets rid of the ball quickly. I mean, it's amazing.
The way Brady approaches the game reminds me of when Lenny Dykstra was healthy and Steve Finley, who was an all-star of the National League, guys that just will bust a rusty career, guys that just are gritty. This one not going to quite make it. But Brady is the leader with 4 home runs and 4 in a row. Let's head down to Buck with our new leader.
Well, Brady, you're the leader right now. Look like you got in a groove. What kind of adjustment did you have Jeff Newman make?
I suck.
What's upsetting you?
I just wasn't swinging that well. It wasn't Jeff Newman's fault. I mean, he was throwing right down the middle. I was just a little, you get a little jump in home run hitting contest. You're a little nervous, so try to swing too hard. I put a few good swings together and didn't get blanked, so I was happy about that.
All right, you'll get him next time.
Well, he got in a groove. He hit 3 in a row, and this is his 4th swing. And, I mean, that's a beautiful swing right there. Look at the extension he gets, and he drives it to right center field. Again, I believe that you have to stay out there, aim that way, and that's the only way you're going to keep the ball fair. Otherwise, you're going to put a lot of ground balls to the first baseman.
Still to come, the starting first baseman for the American League All-Stars, Tino Martinez of the New York Yankees.
I come to America with
Anderson with 4, Chipper Jones with 3. They're your leaders in the clubhouse, and there's a look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if you love rock and roll like I do, boy, you could be buried in there for about 8 to 10 hours and still not have seen enough. We'll have a little bit of a special coverage, some of our rock and roll baseball nicknames coming up here this week in Sports Center. We were there with our electric blue jacket the other night. It was lots of fun. Of course, this view and all the other views coming from our good friends of the Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron. The Spirit, it's really a home game for them, based about 40 miles south of Jacobs Field in Suffield, Ohio. Not too far, of course, from Akron, Ohio, home for the world headquarters for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Lankford of the St. Louis Cardinals next to try his luck, and he's my dark horse, Joe. I predicted at the beginning of the program.
I think you have a good choice as far as, you know, being a dark horse is concerned, because he's been swinging the bat really well, and he has his swing is similar to Griffey's in that he's got a lot of lift to his swing. He doesn't have to change his swing to hit the ball in the air.
Well, Ray missed
A little more.
20 games at the beginning of the season. He really began the season the way he ended last. Remember, he got hurt the last few games before the playoffs. It's really a non-factor against San Diego, although he had a big hit in the 3rd game, but only made 3 starts in the combined series for the Cardinals against San Diego and against the Atlanta Braves. Remember, they almost beat the Braves last year. The Cardinals said, will this one go? No, it won't. Lankford's not a dead pull hitter, though. With the wind coming in, that might hurt him a little bit.
Well, it might hurt him just because the wind is blowing in, but I think that's the reason that I think of him as being a good pick as a dark horse. He's similar to Griffey. Griffey's not a pull hitter either. Everyone thinks of him that way, but Griffey right center and from center field around, and I think that's good.
Junior looking on as Lankford said he's never really hit for home runs. This will be a little bit different talking to him before that. He's pressing a little bit. Ray, 30 years of age, from Modesto, California. His .333 batting average is 7th in the National League. Starting to say just he has the 17 homers, but in just 66 games. This one, the right center field, back he goes, back. Home run number 1 for Lankford.
That's Ray's first home run.
424 feet, but cannot follow it up a la Brady Anderson in a groove. So very quickly, Lankford with 6 outs. If he's going to be my dark horse, he's got to swing like that. Will this hang up there? Oh, right off the top of the pen and out. Brady not pleased with his performance, but he has 4. He's the leader. Mark McGwire just says, let me get up there.
Yeah, Mark's kind of relaxed. He's been through all this before. He was in the finals, of course, last year against Cross Bay rival Barry Bonds.
That was a great spectacle, too, that those two put on last year in Philadelphia. Gets under this a tad. Doesn't look like it'll have the distance. Eight outs for Lankford. Oh, I was inside. He turned on it anyway. Even I could see that was inside. Royce Clayton, Royce Aroni Clayton.
Hear what he said? He said, my boy's trying to pull up there. Lankford, he said he's pulling.
This one will not stay up enough. So Lankford with just a pair.
For Ray Lankford.
And he's a little bit disappointed. Never did get in the groove, Joe.
No, but let's take a look at this second home run. I mean, he hits it in the right center field, which is, I think, is his power alley. You see it stays close. Look at that. I mean, good extension. He doesn't really drive. I see why he says he's not a home run hitter. He really basically does it with his quickness and not so much with his strength. See, that's a line drive. He just used his hands really well there. But he doesn't have a good platform. He doesn't dig in deep and turn on the back leg like a lot of these sluggers do.
Now we're waiting for the Thunder here, Joe. We've yet to have the Thunder, although the big home run hitters are starting to appear.
Be active, be cool, but beware.
4, Chipper Jones 3, Ray Lankford with 2. And now coming up, there's 28 home runs, Tino Martinez. And Joe, I think we can make an assumption that if he hits him out here, they're probably going to go to right field.
Yeah, that's a perfect patch there for Yankee Stadium, and that's where he plays most of his game, and it fits well here in Jacobs Field.
Now we get to some of the heavy metal here in the All-Star game. Tino Martinez, first baseman, starting first baseman of the All-Star team, the American League from the New York Yankees. And
how you doing?
Joe, we got a view early on this season. You and I did the first 2 games between the Yankees and the Mariners up in Seattle. Griffey had a pair in game number 1. Tino had 3 home runs in the second game. Was en route to setting a record of RBIs for the month of April with 34. He really has never stopped.
No, he's been perfect all year. He's swinging the bat very well again. Had a slight slump, of about a week or so, but he's bounced back, really swinging the bat well.
28 home runs, 78 RBIs, 302 at the break. 28 home runs, 3rd in the majors, 3rd in the American League behind McGwire and Griffey. His first one has pulled a little bit too much foul. His 78 RBIs are 2nd behind Griffey. So, and he said, I know all the fans in New York voted me in, but I'm sure there got a lot of votes from the people going to the games in Seattle too. So we wanted to thank them, because when you win first base in the American League, and this one goes to right field, back, gone. You win that voting over McGwire and Thomas, Thome, and Mo Vaughn, Will Clark. Oh, you've opened up a lot of people's eyes. Will this one get out?
Need some wind on that one.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with. Look at the size of the barrel on this bat he's using. I mean, he's got the biggest barrel of any of the hitters we've seen so far.
Well, Joe, if this one goes back, you know what you have to say? Roll out the barrel.
I mean, look at the size of that barrel.
You're right. You are right.
And contrast that when you see McGwire, you see Griffey, you see all the other hitters, they have small barrel bats.
Thinks he missed it, and he was right. Tino Martinez did not exactly step into an easy situation in New York. Oh, this one's hit a time. Back it goes, back, gone. He replaced legend Don Mattingly. He came right in, took him about a month to be accepted by the Yankee fans. Had 25 homers and $117 for RBIs. So, I mean, he stepped right into a tough situation, and now they love him. I mean, not that they don't love Mattingly, but that was not an easy spot. Gets under this one. This should carry. Back. Second decker. For Tino to tie Brady Anderson.
436 feet.
436 feet estimated that one. Gets under this one. This will not carry.
The reason a lot of these hitters use smaller barrel bats is they get a little better balance.
This one is slugged to right center field. Back it goes. Back, gone.
And if you use a big barrel bat, you better have a lot of weight in it, because you get a lot of barrel and not a lot of weight. It's going to be like balsa wood. So obviously he's swinging a pretty heavy bat as well as having a big barrel on it.
Well, he can hit it a long way, and his home runs now 5. He takes the lead right now. Hits this one to right center, gets under it, not far enough. Back in '95, when he was with the Mariners, in June 11th, '95, he became only the 8th man ever to hit the black seats in Yankee Stadium. That's a long way.
How many outs is that? 7 or 8?
Stadium, not the old, but I mean, that was not when he was. The Yankee Stadium was not his home park at that time. Just misses this one as well. You can hear Tino. He knows whether it's going or not. 1 out left. Gets under it. Will it carry? Back to the fence. No. But with 5 home runs, Tino Martinez may have put himself into the second round. We'll see, but he's the leader in the clubhouse. And one Martinez to another one.
Tino, now what'd you tell me yesterday about being in this home run contest?
I said I was more nervous about this than playing in the actual game.
Well, look up on the scoreboard now. You got 5 home runs. You're leading the contest. Nice score.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's take a look at this swing. Look at the balance he has. Good drive. I mean, perfect balance. See, he doesn't have an uppercut in his swing, so he just hits the bottom of the ball and drives it out of the ballpark and goes into the upper deck. And that tied him, and this will be the 5th home run that put him ahead in this contest. I mean, his trajectories are going to be a lot different than what you'll see from McGwire. McGwire hits him high and far. Tino more of a line drive hitter.
On deck here at the Jake, Jeff Brown Paper Bagwell. The number is 5. And Bags and Junior and Walker and McGwire
I know, but I always
exceeded.
wear it. All right, I'll take it off.
We'll be back.
Well, if I had money, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or 2. I'm crazy about a Ford truck.
And here's the damn the tallest, and Tino Martinez has stood the tallest thus far in the first round with his 5 spot. You know what, Joe? I get sick and tired of reading these promos all the time. Why don't you have a go at it?
All right, I'll get this one this time. Sunday night baseball, New York Mets versus the Atlanta Braves. Join John and me at Turner Field. The surprising New York Mets featuring Edgardo Alfonso versus the Atlanta Braves' entire pitching staff.
Back here in Cleveland, Chris Berman along with Joe Morgan. So glad you could join us for these festivities here, the night before the All-Star game, and certainly the diamond event, if you will, when everyone talks about this Gillette All-Star Home Run Derby, and someone who's competed in it a couple of times, the most valuable player back in '94 for the Houston Astros, Jeff Brown Paper Bagwell.
I like a middle in. There we go.
Bagwell, compact slugger who has had some injury problems, but when he does it, he puts up some stellar numbers. This year he has 24 home runs, 1 behind Larry Walker in the National League home run race. 78 RBIs. He's second behind Andres Galarraga in the RBI race. He's hitting at 314.
It was funny. He's told the catcher he wants the ball middle of the plate in.
This one goes to left field. Will it carry? Yes, it does.
And he kind of
third row.
He was amazed himself that that one went out. He kind of looked over at his teammates like, maybe I can get some out of here. This is not a big ballpark.
Joe, you listening closely to this? Now, we have wired some of the players like Jeff Bagwell. This one is hit the left field, back, gone. Oh, man, that was only a 2 or 3 backer. It got out to hurry. But are you listening?
Yeah.
You can hear his glove on the handle of the bat. Listen.
Well, usually the big sluggers, when they get the pitchers in a hole 2-0, you could see the sawdust coming out of the bat. They squeeze it so tight. They know what they're going to get, and they try to turn it loose. And obviously that's what Jeff is doing here. He's squeezing a little tight.
A young man from Killingworth, Connecticut. Played ball at the University of Hartford, so we nutmeg. Yeah, don't say that, Jeff. Don't. He's broken his hand a couple times, of course. Don't say you broke your hand. Those of us from the nutmeg state of Connecticut, very proud of the way he has played. And look at that shot. That was a good 3-wood. Ball number 3 for Bagwell.
Yes.
Last year led the National League with doubles at 48, but he didn't want to hit doubles here. This one to left center field, and it's a scrape back. We used to call that wall the Bell Tower out there, Joe, but with Albert in Chicago. And I think we're going to have to change the name. Hit to left field. Will it stay fair? Yes, it does. Homer number 4 for Bagwell. This one will be foul. That glove sounds just funny listening to it, isn't it? Ah! That almost got the ball. Folks down there by the tarp. 6 outs now for homers. Tino is 5. Brady Anderson is 4. Chipper Jones 3. Gets under this one. This will just sky. And look at the kids come in on this. Oh!
Well, he got called off at the last second.
He did. That's tough. Rip, but not enough height on that. And he won the MVP award in '94. Of course, that was the striker. He won it unanimously. Only Ken Caminiti last year. Mike Schmidt, 1980. Orlando Cepeda, 1967. Unanimous winners MVP award, National League. Along with Bagwell and just off midway up the wall. Listed as 19 feet, Joe, but you and I, of course, amateurs here at sizing up things. Looks a little taller than 19 feet. This one pretty well to left center. Not well enough. But for Jeff Bagwell, it's 4 home runs, which may or may not get him on to the next round. We'll have to see what the big guns do. And here's Buck Martinez. Oh, here's home run number 3.
Well, you see Bagwell with the unorthodox swing. He kind of takes his front foot and moves it back. And then he drills the ball, but he is a slugger, and he's got a little uppercut in his swing, so he doesn't really have to lift the ball either. And this is his 4th one, which, as you say, may or may not get him into the home run hitting contest. We have tiebreakers.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
well, here's one of the fellas that everybody came to see. Will he make the assault? On 61, he is 30 at the break. For the Mariners, Junior Griffey will be up. As we start to get to the end of this first round, we know that Tino Martinez is moving on to the second round. Jeff Bagwell, Brady Anderson have to see how the big guns do, to see if they will move on or they will watch and become spectators like the rest of us. Well, we've become spectators of the WNBA, the New York Liberty, led by Rebecca Lobo, undefeated in the WNBA, 6-0. They'll host the Charlotte Sting, fresh off a victory over the talented LA Sparks, live from Madison Square Garden Thursday on The Deuce at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Last 2 years, Ken Griffey Jr. has not had a chance to participate in the home run derby. He's been hurt. But in '94 in Pittsburgh, he hit 7 home runs to win it, 5 reaching the upper deck, including the final 3 shown here, and he has that magical swing, Joe.
And so far, that has been the most exciting home run derby I've ever participated in. We had a lot of upper deck shots, and as you mentioned, Griffey down the stretch was just awesome.
Well, let's see if 3 years absence has made him even better at the home run derby. He won it in '94 in Pittsburgh. It's just up the road from here in Cleveland. Can he do it here at the Jake? Welcome back to Cleveland. And the imposing figure of Ken Griffey Jr. to the plate. 268 career home runs, which is a number very dear to our Joe Morgan. It's 93rd on the all-time home run list. And a guy named Griffey, a guy named Brooks Robinson, a guy named Gorman Thomas, and somebody named Little Joe Morgan have 268. So you and Junior nodded, a dead heat.
You're right, and he has about 15 years left.
Well, you saw the graphic. As far as guys hitting 250 home runs, which Junior did on April 25th this year, he was 27 years old and 155 days. Only Jimmy Fox, Eddie Matthews, and Mel Ott were younger when they got to 250. All those guys got to 500 home runs, and obviously all are in the Hall of Fame. So we know where he seems to be headed. And Junior, of course, in addition to the 30 home runs, has 84 RBIs, which ties Galarraga for the lead in the majors. And I know we're talking home runs here, but he's on about the same pace. If you're looking, this is smoke, but not high enough, as Hack Wilson was in 1930 when he had 190 RBIs. I'm not trying to say he's going to hit that, but he's on about the same pace, just for the record. Maybe a little bit behind Hack. Junior has not found the swing. And in doing many of their games, he says he has not yet been in the groove this year, and that's someone who's hit 30 homers, Joe. what he says.
Well, he expects a lot of himself. And has a lot of confidence in his ability, obviously. But I think he needs to step back and regroup and start all over again.
5 outs, 6 outs. Took the red eye last night, the ESPN game on Coast. Maybe he's not awake yet. Very quickly with 7 outs. That one, will it stay fair? Back it goes. Home run number 1 for Junior.
Well, the thing about him and McGwire and some of these good hitters, they can get in the groove and stay there. He better hurry up.
Yeah, he better hurry up. Junior in his 8th straight All-Star game. He's the MVP of the '92 game in San Diego. That's hit a ton, but it's going to be foul. Oh, no, we don't need this. This is not what we anticipated, Joe. You cursed him. You picked him. Although, maybe here comes the groove. Back it goes to right field. Gone, number 2. Back it goes. Back. Gone. I think he needs 4 may win him tiebreakers, which we'll explain when we get that far. Did he get under it enough? Back it goes. Back.
No.
Pulled in at the fence. So Junior with just 3 home runs, and I'm sure very disappointed as he approaches our Buck Martinez. Buck?
Kenny, it looked like you didn't get it going until the end there. It looked like you were going to get into a groove. Were you just a little bit uptight not being here for the last couple of years?
No, I'm just a little tired. I got in at 5 and didn't go to sleep until about 6:30. So
your American Leaguers started to get you going there at the end. You think you get it going next round?
That's if I'm still here. I hope so.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kenny.
Junior Griffey finally got in the groove, but it was late, Joe.
Yeah, well, he gets great extension. That's what he does best. And again, as I've said before, he's really not a pull hitter. Most of the balls were out in the right center field. And because he gets good extension on it right there, he drives it really deep. I thought the last one had enough to get out of here, but the wind has shifted a little bit and is blowing in from right field. I thought he needed 4 to get into the next round. He got 3. We'll see what happens.
We still have the 2 leaders of the respective leagues in home runs to come. Larry Walker of the Rockies, Mark McGwire of the Oakland A's. We'll be back to the Jake.
At Michelin.
Here at Jacobs Field, Tino Martinez and Jeff Bagwell will be moving on to the second round. As for Brady Anderson and Ken Griffey Jr., it depends how the respective home run leaders of the 2 leagues do. Larry Walker and Mark McGwire coming up. Not only does Walker, Joe, lead the National League with 25 homers, he, of course, is flirting with 400 with a little different swing than Tino.
Well, we saw Tino Martinez's swing being very level, and he pulls everything to right field for Yankee Stadium. Take a look at this swing by Larry Walker. He likes the ball down, which is typical of a left-handed hitter. He has a little slight uppercut in his swing, which bodes well for a place like Coors Field, where you can hit the ball out in any direction, and that's what he does well here. Tino Martinez fits well in Yankee Stadium. Larry Walker fits well in Coors Field.
Back to the Gillette home run derby. And Larry Walker, who in addition to leading the National League in home runs with 25, leads everybody in batting average at 398. It's been over 400 for a good part of the season. Flirting with 400. Amazing.
But it is amazing because when you think of 400, you think of Tony Gwynn and the line drive hitters. Larry Walker has always been a good hitter, but he's not what you think of as a 350 or above.
This one is straight away left center field. This one a long way to right. Back it goes, back. Gone to the auxiliary press seats in the second deck. And Walker has hit about as many, if not more, on the road home runs this year than he has at home. So forget Coors Field numbers. He's got a quick 2. Had 3 home runs in his old stomping ground in Montreal in the first week of the season. 3 homers in 1 game. And he hit his own name, didn't he? Larry Walker. Ripped again. Back it goes. Back. Home run number 3.
You know what's funny here is he's got 3 pitches in the exact same spot, and he's hit them out. It's all on the inside part of the plate. And the good thing about Larry is he stands off the plate open, and then he kind of dives in. Right there. That's exactly the spot.
Club Joe. Back it goes. Back. God.
I mean, he's getting the balls in the right spot, and he's doing something with them.
Fouls this one away. Well, with Larry Walker with 4 home runs, it now officially means that Junior will not move on to the second round. That's too bad.
Base hits don't count now, do they?
No.
Let's see if he can get another one right on the inside corner again.
Bagwell, one of those with 4, along with Brady Anderson. Tino Martinez, the leader right now with 5. And Junior knows now that he will not advance to the second round. It's too bad. But he'll have the game to excel, and I bet you he will. Does he get enough on this one? It's a rope. Oh, man, and a grab. Yeah, glove shave and a beauty. Larry Walker said his favorite hockey player growing up, remember he's from British Columbia, favorite hockey player was Billy Smith, the goalie. The way he would take on the opposing players, good glove hand. Well, we saw that from the fan out there. I don't know, just trying to segue it, Joe. Billy Smith, goalie for the Islanders, and they won those 4 cups in the early 80s. Walker, a long way to right center field. Back it goes. Back. Just shy of the second deck. He now has the lead with 6. He's yet to hit Mark McGwire. Oh, but foul.
But the 6th home run traveled 462 feet.
At 6th home run, the longest of the first round, 462 feet. And he may top it with this one. Back it goes. Back. Just shy of Lake Erie. Woo.
That was a big fly right there. It was high and deep.
479 feet.
479.
I think he might really let it all go right here, though. He was holding back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, he tried.
And once he got ahead, I think he said, I'll just see how far I can hit one.
One more.
Last one?
Yep.
It could be. I know it's not in a game situation, but the longest drive hit to the second deck here in Cleveland. This one, it skims over the top and goes.
He was on his way out of the batter's box. He said, I didn't get it up high enough. Just barely over the yellow line.
Home run number 8 for Larry Walker. Ripped down the line. Gone. Home run number 9.
Go, gotta get 10.
Don't use them all up here in the first round, big fella.
9 home runs for Larry Walker, the leader, with just Mark McGwire to come in the first round. He was in the group. Boy, he's flirting with 400. He's hitting long balls. What a first half he has had, and he's continued so far. High fives all around from his teammates. Let's go down to Buck Martinez. Buck.
Larry, you hit pretty good for a hockey player.
I had a Sherwood, a goalie stick with me up there. Used it.
What about your chances of winning now? It looks like you got the swing down pat today.
Well, I've seen what Mac's done in the past, so I ain't doing anything for granted. I've seen what he's done. I'm going to watch him.
All right, Larry, thanks.
Thank you.
I mean, he got about 4 balls in the same spot, and each one of them he drilled right out of the ballpark. So he got in a quick groove. And right on the Walker, the W.
He broke the W.
Yeah. I mean, all of them were pretty similar swings. Then he started hitting line drives just over the yellow line.
Yeah, Mac is rooting for everybody, but as Larry Walker said, I've seen what this fella can do. We got to see what Mark McGwire does when he gets his chance, and that's what everyone in the yard has come to see. He'll hit when we return. As he struts to the second round with his 9, Tino is in, Jeff Bagwell is in, Brady Anderson is in only if Mark McGwire struggles. See the All-Stars of the Future Wednesday night on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern Time. The AAA All-Star Game from Des Moines, Iowa, the American Association. That's ESPN2 Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, 2 o'clock in Maui. Mark McGwire's struggle. Yeah, I don't know. He never gets cheated on his home runs. In '96, he hit the longest drive ever at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. What about Skydome? He's tattooed all the restaurants at Skydome. July 25th last year. Over just about everything. April 20th this year. One of 4 men to hit it over the roof at Tiger Stadium. April 30th this year. This shot is Beechwood aged. It hits the Budweiser sign here at the Jake. And then against Randy Johnson on June 24th in the Kingdom. 97 miles an hour coming in, 105 miles an hour going out. 538 feet for a Mark Eve of Destruction McGwire. Now it's almost as if everything else has been an appetizer here, Joe, because here he is, Mark McGwire. 52 home runs last year. 31 home runs here at the break this year, and a man who already in his career has 360 home runs. He just came in as a rookie in 1987. He's already at 360, and as we well know, everyone who's gotten to 400 home runs who is eligible for the Hall of Fame, except 2, Darrell Evans, Dave Kingman, has gotten into the Hall of Fame.
Well, he'll probably have 400 by the end of the year,
right,
maybe.
Well, he could.
He may make it.
Well, that would be, what, 71 homers he's capable,
yeah.
Right?
Well, no, I thought 61. See, my addition was wrong.
Yeah, but he could have 71. Hits this to left field. Back it goes. Back. McGwire's on the board.
The thing that makes him so appealing to the fans is not only does he hit a lot of home runs, he hits a lot of long home runs.
Well, he didn't get cheated on very many home runs. It's not like, oh, he's playing in a bandbox. It wouldn't have gone out.
No way.
Back to the fence. Back it goes to the wall. Not quite.
In fact, Oakland was the toughest park in the American League to hit home runs in until the last couple of years.
Five outs for McGwire. This one is hit down the line. Will it stay fair? Back. Gone. Of course, McGwire is hit, as we heard from Buck Martinez in the beginning. 2 longest home runs hit here at Cleveland. Back it goes to center field. Gone.
He needs one more to assure himself of getting into the contest.
6 outs for McGwire. Walker with 9, Tino with 5, and Brady Anderson and Jeff Bagwell with 4. He would win a tiebreaker. In the first round, tiebreakers are whoever has the most home runs at the break. And with McGwire leading everybody, McGwire would be in if he hit number 4, and Brady Anderson would be out. This one not going to make it. And very quickly, McGwire with 8 outs, so a little tight time here. Griffey didn't make it, and the crowd is picked up. Here it goes to dead center field. Back. Gone into the picnic area. Good thing nobody was dining. Now, when we go to the second round, which McGwire is now assured, they wipe the slate clean. So Walker's 9 don't give him a 5 home run head start on McGwire. Look at this roll. Oh, it just squeezes its way over the top of the fence. Does a little shoe polishing there. Missed that one.
That's it.
But McGwire, with a couple of late bombs, including the one to center field, has 5 homers. So McGwire moving on to the second round. And he's with our Buck Martinez. Those some tight moments, Buck.
Buck, there for a while, it took you a little bit to get loose, and there was a danger that you weren't going to advance, but the crowd kind of got behind you. Did that help you out a little bit?
Yeah, it did. It's always fun to hit here, and I think it's because I've been sitting around for about 2 hours. A little stale, but I'll warm up.
All right, good luck next round.
Thanks.
Well, the thing that makes McGwire great is that he's not only strong, but he has a quick bat. And that's why he can hit it so far, and he can also hit line drives that just barely make it over the wall. He hits line drives 350 feet. But quickness and strength is what makes him a great home run hitter. A lot of guys have strength, but not the quickness. A lot of guys have the quickness and not the strength. But you can see here's a very quick bat, hits a line drive, and look at this. Just barely, I mean, it wasn't going to come down, but it was, the question was it high enough?
The first round is complete. And with the 9 spot, the leader, Larry Walker of the Colorado Rockies. A picture-perfect day here in Cleveland. You look at those toothbrush lights, as they call it here at the Jake. We started with 10. We are down to 4. Jeff Bagwell, Tino Martinez, Mark McGwire, Larry Walker. Going for the home run derby title. So Bagwell, who beats out Brady Anderson on the tiebreaker, because Bagwell had 24 home runs, Anderson only 7. That's the tiebreak in the first round.
Okay.
Moves on to the second. Now, same rules as the first round. 10 outs or 10 non-home runs, and then you're gone. And the top 2 of these 4 will advance. The tiebreaker here, though, changes. It's how many home runs you had in the first round would be the criteria for a tiebreaker. And Jeff Bagwell is up, which means we get to hear the gloves again. Rip to left field. Will it hold up there long enough? Oh, a low shot off the wall. It's like a highlight. Rebote.
Well, Bagwell's an audio man's nightmare.
Oh, shit. This guy's harder to hit off.
Yeah, can you turn down the volume on the gloves, please?
Yeah.
Walker with 9. An impressive one in the first.
That's a good fit. My bad.
You hear what Bagwell said? He said, this guy's hard to hit off of.
Yeah, Jeff Newman has retired some of the best hitters in baseball. I'm telling you, I think Mike Hargrove, John Hart ought to think about it. Plus, I got to give something else before we go back to the hitters. Yeah, Newman showing the rubber arm.
You're right.
Hit to left center, not far enough. A warning track out. Bagwell's best year of the home run department. Of course, he could shatter that this year with 24 at the break. 39 back in '94, and of course we don't know what he would have done because there was 7 weeks to go when the strike hit.
Yeah, a lot of guys were on pace to have career highs that year.
Oh.
Darryl Kyle, Bagwell's Houston Astro teammate. There's Craig Biggio here as well. This one hit very well. Will it stay fair? Back, gone. There's Craig Matinee at the Biggio. Boy, you're used to seeing Bagwell and Biggio at all these all-star games these days, aren't you, Joe? Well, they're catch made in the corner.
I mean, they go together like hand and glove. These two guys really help each other, and they feed off of each other.
Yeah, I think the Astros are pretty set on the right side of the infield.
Yes.
And they got to get the rest of the team set. A division in which no one is over 500. And give the Pirates credit for being in first place. Oh, nice catch by the youngster. Pirates lead that division at the break. That's a big surprise. Great story.
Oh.
Just missed that one. And what about the San Francisco Giants, 15 above 500, Joe? 6-game lead.
No one would have ever predicted that they would have this type of lead at the All-Star break, but that's what makes baseball such a great sport. No one knows what's going to happen. Even me and you. I mean, you know,
even us.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Well, Jeff Bagwell was hoping some better things would happen there. Only 1 home run, and this, the second round. He's with Buck.
Jeff, they threw in a new pitcher on you. A little bit different stuff you saw this time?
I don't know, just too much topspin.
Trying to hit it too much, topspin?
No, I wasn't trying to hit topspin, but I guess I get a little tired.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Well, Bagwell with just one in the bag. Tino Martinez, followed by Mark McGwire and Larry Walker.
Not long ago.
And don't forget tonight and tomorrow, SportsCenter has complete coverage of the All-Star Game. Following the Home Run Derby, you'll see live coverage from the All-Star Gala. And tomorrow at 6:30 and 11:30, SportsCenter will be live from Jacobs Field for the most complete All-Star pre- and post-game coverage on TV. Then after the SportsCenter on Tuesday night, don't forget a special edition of Baseball Tonight. Back to round number 2 here, the Home Run Derby, and Tino Martinez, who hit 5 in the first round. Well, now, see if he can tattoo that short portion right again.
Tino hit 5 in the first round.
Tino with 28 home runs in the first half of the season. Told you about his record RBIs for the month of April with 34, breaking the old mark of Barry Bonds of 32. The old American League mark was Joe Carter of 31. Gets under this one. To right center field. Will it have enough? Back it goes. Just off the top of the wall. This one does have enough. Back, 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 back. Gone.
Dang it. Right.
Maybe we need those gloves a little louder.
Well, he had it. He had his pitch and he didn't hit it.
This one to right field, back, but not even worth a back.
Like I say, this is audio man's nightmare.
Yeah, what? This one should carry to right center field. Gone. Homer number 2 for Tino. To straightaway right field. This will go as well. Gone. 3 home runs. Ripped on the line. Back, 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 back. Gone. And the voice you hear in the background, our own Charlie Steiner, pulling some major strings to land this PA job today. Tino pulled a major rope. Gone.
Tito's very consistent.
Oh, because he knew you were analyzing his swing in the open. That's why he didn't want to disappoint you.
I mean, again, he has a great level swing. You notice that most of his home runs are line drives, not the big high fly balls.
Oh, this is a high fly ball. It's gone. Kind of a medium fly ball.
Yeah, but
you're right.
But he's not like McGwire or some of these guys.
Six outs now for Tino Martinez and 6 home runs. So this is the second best performance we've seen of any of them. Walker with 9. Nobody else with more than 5 in the first round. This one has the distance. Back it goes. Back, back, goes. 7 home runs for Tino Martinez. Waiting for his pitch, very confident.
Jammed it.
He says he jammed it, but he jammed it into the seats. Put a little jelly on that jam. and out. Down to 1 out now, but he's got 8 home runs. Misses this one, but an impressive round number 2. 8 in this round, 13 home runs in 2 rounds for Yankee first baseman Tino Martinez. And again, it's a 2 Martinez lunch.
Tino, now you're an official contender. You can't lie about it. You've got that swing going.
Yeah, I hit quite a few there, but I'm not going to win the distance contest by no means.
Well, it's not distance, it's number, and you got it in a groove now.
Yeah, I hope so. He was throwing me balls right down the middle, so I was getting good pitches right there.
Nice going, Tino.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at this swing. We saw it in the open, but look how level this swing is. I mean, that's just a beautiful swing right there. Head down on the ball right there. Everything stays together, and you see the results. It's more of a line drive, as we talked about, rather than a high fly ball. But that's the result of a real good swing. And now take a look at this one. Again, pretty much the same. He gets under it a little bit more, but it's still a level swing, and he drives the ball up into the seats. I changed it. Since Griffey's gone, he's my favorite now.
Oh, I see. Well, I get to pick another dark horse? My dark horse will be Mark McGwire.
Okay, I'll give him to you.
Real dark horse. Next up is Mark McGwire, followed by Larry Walker, as it should be. The guys hitting cleanup are the guys that lead the leagues in home runs.
I don't shower before work.
Tino Martinez has given Mark McGwire and Larry Walker something to shoot at here in the second round of the home run derby. As for Mark McGwire, I don't think he'll back down from the challenge. And Joe, we like to put these charts together of the home runs we've shown earlier with Walker and Tino. Look at McGwire. Some of his are in outer space, especially that ball way up at the top of the screen.
Well, it looks like he hits the ball to all fields, but basically he's from center field around to left field. That's basically where it hits its home runs. Every once in a while, fastball might get on him, and he will hit it over the right field wall. He's that strong. But if he's going to hit the long ball, it's going to be almost straightaway left field.
Back to round 2 of the home run derby here in Cleveland. The imposing figure of Mark McGwire. 31 home runs at the All-Star break, which is not his best figure at the All-Star break. Remember his rookie year, he had 33. In 1987, ended with 49. The record at the All-Star break for home runs is 37 by Reggie Jackson in 1969. ESPN's Reggie Jackson, I should say. He hit only 10 after the break to finish at 47. McGwire, will this one hold up there? No, it's off the wall. Second behind Reggie at 37. Just get this trivia out of the way. Same year, 1969, Frank Howard had 34. But the Senators ended up with 48. 61, Maris at 33. Those are your numbers. This one will not. There are 3. There are several at 33. McGwire in 87, Maris in 61, Junior, Frank Thomas, and Mac Williams all from 94. Just getting the trivia out of the way. But 31 is still impressive, although not a record.
Well,
McGwire's got to get in that groove, Joe.
Well, he's struggling a little bit here. You know, the question about McGwire, how many home runs would he hit, has always been about health. Whether he could stay healthy or not enough to hit 60 home runs. And he's been relatively healthy this year. If he can stay healthy, obviously he has a chance.
It's this one a long way to left center field. Back it goes. Oh, it's a wall scraper. That one, I think, hit the stratosphere.
It's pretty decent. Yeah, the ones that you get on the line. Yeah.
So McGwire's got to get going here. He only has 3 outs left with no homers. Do you think with all the pressure that you can hit 60 or 61 home runs?
No, I don't think so. I don't think in today's media, with all the hype and with the way the game's played today, I think they'll just stop pitching to him.
There's one. Back. Gone.
You have to remember that when Roger Maris hit his 61, Mickey Mantle hit behind him.
Yep. Well, here's 2. No, he didn't. Oh, over the sign. We said that sign was too close for McGwire. Just missed $1 million.
For a fan.
Yeah, for a fan, not for him.
Has the guy to hit it?
Did it? Let's get a replay. Can we see if that ball hit it? I want to look at that again.
Trickled off.
Yeah, we may have got a scraper.
456 feet.
We may have had a scraper there. Let's look for a scraper.
9 outs.
Being honest with you, I think it's only the final 2 that goes in. He needs a couple more here.
Yeah, he does. Because Walker is in the groove. Oh, that's a foul. So McGwire with just a pair. You never know. He could make it, but I'm sure he's not thrilled. Let's go to Buck.
Mark, you only hit 2, but I don't know about you. I thought that was dead center when it went off the bat.
What?
Looked like it hit dead center off the side.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, whoever. Maybe next year.
All right, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. All right.
Let's take a look at this. Let's take a slow motion. Maybe we get a scraper here, get $1 million for someone. I mean, you were right. This ball, the sign was too close for him, probably. I mean, let's take a close look here. Where's my telestrator? No.
As Maxwell Smart would say, missed it by that much.
Man, $1 million for someone. We've seen $2 million missed by 3 inches. He thinks he's got it right there. Look at him. No.
Well, McGwire needs a poor performance from Larry Walker, but Walker by far and away had the best performance thus far with 9 in the first round. We'll be back with the National League home run leader in a moment. Batter left here in the second round of the home run derby with Tino Martinez moving on to the finals. Will it be Mark McGwire or will it be Larry Walker to oppose him? We'll know in a moment, and while we ponder that question, a reminder that on the Deuce on Thursday, WNBA action, the unbeaten New York Liberty, led by Rebecca Lobo against the Charlotte Sting from Madison Square Garden, Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Well, Larry Walker's 9 home runs lit the lamp, if you will, him being a hockey player. In the first round, average distance of 414 feet, longest 479 feet. He peppered that right center field and second deck of the right center field stands. Does he have more magic in his stick? Back here in Cleveland, for you trivia buffs, this is a stat that we rarely cull here at ESPN, but best individual rounds in a home run derby, Larry Walker's 9 tars him
there we go again
for 4th best.
I'm going to take a couple to see
With 12 a few years ago. That's real trivia. I mean, I have other notes here like Maris 61, Ruth 60, Ruth 59, but I didn't have that one. It was Larry Walker hitting at 398. Let's not forget his, the 25 home runs with 398. We talked about hitting 61 home runs. Can he or Tony Gwynn in this day and age hit 400? Hasn't been done since Ted Williams in 1941, and hasn't been done in the National League since Bill Terry in 1930, Joe.
Well, Tony Gwynn is always a threat to hit 400 because he's such a scientific hitter. Larry Walker is a good hitter.
Oh, man, he just tattooed that one, Joe.
Larry Walker's a good hitter, but he has a longer swing. And the longer your swing, the more it can get out of kilter, for 2 or 3 days at a time.
Back it goes to right center field. Well, we know that McGwire's out because Walker hit more than him in the first round. Well, he's out now anyway.
Well, he might as well stop and start the next round.
Maybe he should.
Yeah, because fatigue does become a factor in these home run hitting derbies, simply because you have about 50 good swings in you, during the day, and if you use them all in one of these 2 rounds, I mean, you're going to tire going down the stretch.
Well, he's saying, is that it? And the fans all got on their feet and said, no, we want more. Well, I had a long talk with Tony Gwynn. We did the Padres on Wednesday about what he thought was easier, not that that's the right word.
I can't get up that far, though.
Or 61 homers. He thought, he thought that 400 was a little more difficult only because every day it's a 2 for 5.
Well, that's true.
And a home run you can get in a groove.
I don't know.
Hit like Babe Ruth did in September, the year that he hit 17, whereas hitting 2 hits a day is no substitution for it.
Right. No, there's no doubt anything that takes more consistency is tougher to do, and the hit for an average over 400 takes more consistency. As you mentioned, a home run hitter can strike out 3 times in a game and hit a home run, and he's got, he's on the board.
Right.
Whereas if you make 3 outs, whether they're strikeouts or not, you're going to drop some points that particular day.
Wouldn't it be fun, Joe, to see catcher's not ready for a swing and a miss or a foul tip? Wouldn't it be fun to have McGwire and Griffey, maybe Tino, but let's just say McGwire and Griffey approach, get over 50 in September, as Walker has just went a long way to right, way under it, gone. And maybe have Tony Gwynn or Larry Walker have a shot for 400, at least when we hit Labor Day. And maybe if they're all going for it at the same time, maybe it takes some media pressure off and that they're not each chasing a ghost alone. Maybe that'll help.
Well, I think it would help, but by the same token, the closer these guys get to 60 home runs, I'm telling you, Larry Walker's just wasting them.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's a waste. But the closer you get to 60 home runs, the less the pitchers are going to be inclined to pitch to you.
Oh, look at this smoke on the water. It's a deep purple shot. Here in the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I should start to trot some of those out.
Well, not only that, I think
mixing that hit.
I think they're tied here, so I guess he would not start off the second round.
That's correct. He would hit last. That is correct.
And he's lucky because he's using up all these swings, and he had to go right back out there. He'd be in trouble.
It'll be Tino Martinez and Larry Walker. But Walker is not done.
Got it.
Back. Gone. A second decker. I said 9 in each round. That's a rope, but that won't get out. But boy, you talk about consistency, like you have to do to hit 400. Walker with 9 in the first round, Walker with 9 in the second round. So it'll be Walker and Tino Martinez. And even though it's not set up to be this way, you have one guy from each league, so maybe that makes it a little more interesting. Larry Walker and Tino Martinez for the championship round of the Home Run Derby. Let's go down to Buck Martinez. Buck.
Thank you, Chris. I'm down here with Larry Walker and Tino Martinez. And guys, you say you're not a home runner. Don't look how far he hit him. Just hit him over the fence.
That's right. I closed my eyes right there. I don't want to look at that. I just want to go up there and try to have a good swing, and I don't care how far it goes.
Larry, everybody's talking about your home runs in Colorado. I know you got 16 of your home runs on the road this year. Looks like you're a good road hitter in this ballpark again today.
Well, I was trying to get that sign. That's a long ways. I came close, so I still think you should pick somebody and give them $1 million.
Okay, we'll think about that. Thanks a lot. Good luck, guys.
Well, take a look at this swing. Good balance right there. And you see the little arc in his bat. He's leaning back to get some attitude. That doesn't work. He's leaning back to get some altitude on the ball. And he hits it very high and deep to right field.
Joe, he had attitude with that swing.
You're right. He takes a long swing, and I said that's the reason I think that he can hit a lot of home runs, driving a lot of runs, but he has a longer swing, and that's going to play against him as it does that fan there trying to hit 400.
The longest one, the last one was 446, and Walker in the first round has the longest home run at 462. It'll be Walker and Tino Martinez. The 1997 Gillette Home Run Derby is presented by Gillette, the best a man can get, and in part by Blimpie. It's a beautiful thing. And by Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair for men and women. Welcome back to the Jake for the championship round of the Home Run Derby. Tino Martinez and Larry Walker, two gentlemen from opposite ends of North America, really. Tino from Tampa, Florida. Larry Walker from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. But they're gathered here to settle a score and to settle the championship of the Gillette All-Star Home Run Derby.
I don't think there's any coincidence that there are two left-handed hitters. This is a left-handed hitter's ballpark, and I think the left-handers had a slight advantage to start with. But I noticed last year in Philadelphia it was a lot hotter, and therefore I thought fatigue played a factor in the final 2 rounds. It's a beautiful day here, but I still think you only have about 50 good swings in your day, and when you're swinging for the home runs, that compounds, it takes a little more of your effort.
First swing for Tino Martinez. Back. Gone.
Now, you know this is my guy. I said that.
Eventually.
Okay.
Well, I got to pick yet another one, don't I? Does this get up? Yes, it does.
This is my guy.
I'm not going to sit and play blackjack with you. I can tell you that. I can see you've marked the cards. You're already up 2-0. All right, I got Walker then. Oh, all right, that's my guy.
Okay, you got Walker.
Here we go.
Gets under this one a tad. Don't think it'll carry. No, it won't carry at all. Remember now, in the final round, you only get 5 outs. Oh, this one is smoked. Back it goes. Back. Gone. Fireworks exploded for every homer.
Up in my kitchen.
Dan Williams now pitching in relief.
Yeah, he was telling Dan Williams, get it up in my kitchen, meaning throw it up and in. And that's because we've talked so often, he has a level swing. He wants the ball up. Whereas if you watch Larry Walker, most of the other left-handed hitters wanted the ball down.
Tino has 1 out remaining.
Here we go, Tino. Here we go.
2 more and we'll win it.
Oh, bad pitch.
Now we're in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Me and Tino, we're in trouble. You got Walker coming.
3 home runs for Tino Martinez. Again, an all Martinez greeting.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Tino, you put a 3 on the board. Now all you can do is sit back and watch. But how do you assess your overall performance today?
Well, I had a great time. I just wanted to get past the first round, and I was able to relax after that, and I had fun.
All right, let's keep our eye on Larry Walker now.
All right, thanks.
Well, we've talked about how level his swinging. Now watch, see how level that is? Whereas most of your hitters, left-handed hitters, like the ball down so they can lift it. Tino just likes it up a little bit because he swings level and he hits line drives out of here. I think you'll see a difference in Larry Walker. His swing will be a little more up, a little bigger arc in it. And this is the final home run for Tino. And that's a great angle. That is a big fly.
So Tino Martinez, a total, if you're scoring, of 16 homers here in the 3 rounds.
Thanks a lot.
And now it's up to Larry Walker to see if he can top the 3.
Now, the last at-bat from the Colorado Rockies, number 33, Larry Walker.
And if he gets 3, there's no tiebreaker. Then they go.
All right, keep going.
To 3 swings each.
We can do. Oh, no.
So Larry Walker from British Columbia. And among everything else that we've talked about hitting 400, he has 229 total bases, Joe. Of course, Jim Rice, the last guy to get 400 total bases in 1978. Last one before that, Joe DiMaggio in 1937. So he's on line to do a lot of things this year. Right now he's thinking home runs. Gets under it. The wind is coming in from right center field, but this should be back. Front row. To the front row.
Roger Clemens.
Skied. Shallow center. Ripped down the line, but this will be curving foul. Well, actually, fair ball, but certainly low.
2 outs remaining.
2 outs remaining for Walker.
Well,
he needs 2.
He used 2 minutes to last at bat.
He wanted to stop.
You're right.
This also a little bit low.
1 out remaining.
pitch was inside. Will it stay fair? I don't think so. Foul ball. Pitch is a little bit inside. So Tino Martinez wins the 1997 All-Star Home Run Derby.
I need your kid to catch one for me out there. Thank you. Hey, man. Good job, man. It's hard to get the last time. I know, man. 5 swings.
I think a little over anxious.
That's always 2. Yeah. 5 swings is tough, man.
Good job.
Let's go down to Buck Martinez with the winner.
Tino, you were reluctant to get into the contest initially. Now you've won the home run contest. Describe the All-Star experience here this afternoon.
Well, obviously, I've had a great time. To go home and tell my kids one day that I beat Larry Walker, Mark McGwire, and Ken Griffey Jr. in a home run hitting contest, that's great.
What do you think it means for the players to come out and participate so the fans can see you all on a day like this?
Well, I think it's great. They get to see us relaxed atmosphere and see how much we really enjoy playing the game and how much fun we can have.
Congratulations on a great day, Tino.
Thank you, Buck.
Well, we have had some fun in Cleveland, have we not? For the first 2 rounds with 9 homers in each of them, Larry Walker, the Colorado Rockies, had his name written all over this home run derby. But in the end, it was the sweet swinging first baseman of the New York Yankees, Tino Martinez, that walked away with the crown. For Joe Morgan and Buck Martinez, this is Chris Berman saying so long. Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next. The Gillette Home Run Derby has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.